Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to Today in Bitcoin. Today is February 26, 2017. Thanks for the person who sent the Litecoin twice. Go Orioles. You know who you are. And thanks for the Bitcoin. Below, you can click on the link to yesterday's great video. All right, so let's jump right into it. Ethereum is up. And I haven't heard much from the Ethereum community about this. And it made me think of the lack of Bitcoin trash talking and Ethereum Classic trash talking that's going on in the Ethereum community these days. They're just getting the job done. They're silently getting better, I guess, doing something over there. And this is a good image for the community. Let your coin speak for itself, and I guess it's speaking for itself. So I have to tip my hat to that community. We all remember when there was some big talk coming from that community, and now let the coin talk for itself. So good job to the community over there. That's a good example. And now someone's going to email me like, oh, look what this Ethereum guy said. All right, it's not the same as last year. So a guy had a comment about the Coinbase situation in defense of Coinbase, actually, and I posted his reply below, but I'm going to read it real quick because we spoke about Coinbase yesterday and some issues. So let's give the other side here. The Coinbase rules are based on each state in the US, so remember this when answering questions. Also, here is more info. Coinbase does not own or control the identification checking company. It is a third-party company, very reputable and used by most US companies. The ID checking company is not fully HTML5 compliant, so they do have slight problems with some web browsers. Coinbase always recommends an alternative to the website ID submit. They request people use the Coinbase app to send the ID, and this functions better for some people. Coinbase support is run through an algorithm, I think, because I get pretty good support while other people get slower support. Coinbase's support depends on the topic. All right, so there, I mean, some of you probably aren't going to find that to be satisfactory. There are some reasons that explain some of the issues, or I mean, try to at least. So, hey, I wanted to give the other side. So Coinbase put out a tweet. He is going to debate Roger Ver about the block size. And that was actually supposed to go live tonight, but something went wrong. I'll link to his tweet. And it's been taped, though. He is going to post it at some point, apparently. So that's cool. I think people are interested in seeing Roger Ver and Coinbase debate the block size. I think that'll be good. I'm on the side of Coinbase, obviously, and Roger Ver is a huge Bitcoin Unlimited person. And if he was not, there probably would not be much worry about Bitcoin Unlimited. I mean, people wouldn't think it had a chance, but he's hardcore about it, Roger Ver. So hey, maybe Tone can convince him otherwise. Bobby Lee, the brother of Charlie Lee, has a tweet out. It's very interesting. Bitcoin price target in 2020 after block halving, $5,000 to $11,000, assuming 5 million to 10 million daily flow into BTC by then. Today the daily flow is 2 million in. All right, that's cool. He gives a reason why he thinks it can be $5,000 to $11,000 after the block the halving of 2020. Obviously, I had been bringing up 2020, that halving, for a long time, telling people that that should be your goal, so you have a strong hand, that you have this goal, so you don't sell. Look to that date, and look, there's another reason to look to that date from a very smart person. Also notice I don't put huge numbers like that in my title. So many people do that, that thing just to pump up their videos. I don't know. I think it's cheap. I think it's spam almost. I don't know. I'm not thinking of the right word, but it's good information. I agree. I think it's nice to hear things like that. It's reassuring. Okay, so I guess I can see why people put it in their title. But All right, 22% segwit over at approval over at the Litecoin block halving site. You know, this thing is not predictable. I think there's a few people out there that are trying to say, well, if it's at 22% today, that means at this rate, it'll be at 25% in 4 days. I mean, that's not the way this works. I mean, it's like the miners deciding and like updating their software. So all of a sudden, if a bunch of them do it at once and want to do it at once, it'll jump to 40%. So, I mean, if you hear people saying, well, if you go at a certain rate, SegWit will be approved by day X. No, that's not the way to do that. I mean, this is random. It's up to individuals making decisions on when to do X, Y, and Z. It's not like a linear thing here. All right. Peter Schiff, I'm going to link to this video. He mentioned Bitcoin in his latest video, and it's at the beginning. And then he mentions he's going to be on CNBC, I believe, at 5 p.m. Eastern time on Monday. Now, you have to check this video again to correct me on this, as I haven't watched the video since last night. By the way, it's 3 a.m. in the morning, 3:30 in the morning where I am right now. But I took a nap beforehand, so that's why I'm refreshed. But Peter Schiff, and he says he's going to debate some Bitcoin guy. Well, I think Peter Schiff is going to talk about gold. Now, well, obviously he's going to attack Bitcoin. He in his latest video, which is linked to below, he says some insane things about Bitcoin. Brings up Mount Gox, I don't know. And it doesn't sound good when he brings it up, but he says some guy, and I don't know who CNBC is picking out, who their Bitcoin guy is. It'd be great if it was some top-level person like Andreas Antonopoulos, but it could just be some random dude. I mean, just someone you've never heard of. And this could turn out to be a disaster. Peter Schiff could crush the guy. But in theory, the person should be able to beat Peter Schiff because facts are on Bitcoin's side. So that should be interesting. And apparently, you'll only be able to watch it on CNBC. So click on the Peter Schiff link, watch the video, check out watch CNBC tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. The great Lorian Gamaroff, the Roger Ver of South Africa, the biggest Bitcoin guy in South Africa, has now organized his videos online in a much better way. And I will link to his YouTube channel, his SoundCloud channel. Subscribe to Lorian's channel. Lorian has some very good videos out there. You'll see how smart he is. You'll watch his some presentations he's made in the past. Really good, high-level type of stuff. Hopefully Lorian and I will be doing an Africa show very, very soon, every other week or something like that. We're working out the details. And I know there are a lot of people interested in Bitcoin in Africa. We've got a lot of viewers watching this now. All right. Live. I should check out the chat, shouldn't I? Andy Hoffman sent me an article, a Bloomberg article it's not FUD. It's great. It talks about how the local Bitcoin interest has been gone up. Usage, local Bitcoin, that site where you can trade Bitcoin locally with people for cash. I mean, there's some risk involved in that, but it's gone up in China. It says even China can't kill Bitcoin. So they even use China in a positive way. So, hey, I think we're going to see it as we get closer to this ETF. There might be more and more positive articles, and then of course there'll be a letdown and. You know the whole cycle, but hey, I thought I'd link to the video. Thank you, Andy. Thanks to the article. Thanks, Andy, for sending that to me. Yesterday's video, I forgot to say something about Bitcoin Unlimited, a little slogan I made up. Bitcoin Unlimited. Let's risk ruining Bitcoin for a non-issue that Litecoin already addresses. All right, Mike Cernovich, who is a very well-known guy in the manosphere or whatever he's known in, alternative media. He's known. I have mentioned this before. I'm going to link to the video specifically. You go to the 47-minute mark, and he mentions how Bitcoin people, he asks them questions, and it's like a purity test. Or they ask him questions. Excuse me. They're like it's like trivia, like stuff he's not going to understand. He's not an expert in Bitcoin, and he says when guys like this. In any technological community, try to purity test you, try to like trivia test you, ask you some little minutia question about technology. It's just such a turnoff, and he's absolutely right. Now, I think he might be getting Bitcoin community confused with cryptocurrency community, but the point is, if you're a Bitcoin person, you're talking to someone new, I mean, you should have the self-esteem that you don't have to feel like you have to trick someone and make them feel like they're stupid to talk about Bitcoin, okay? This is not about purity testing people, seeing how pure Bitcoin they are, how much knowledge of Bitcoin they have. Well, they don't even have any knowledge of Bitcoin. What's the point in tripping someone else up? I mean, do you feel bad about yourself that you have to, it makes you feel better to make someone look like a fool? Or, I mean, that's not how Bitcoin is going to be adopted. He brings this up specifically. And then he talks about marketing. That's not a good marketing technique to make yourself seem like a bunch of haters that are going to scare people away with purity tests and all sorts of stuff like that. So be friendly to new people. I mean, if you're a technological wizard, don't talk in a high and mighty technological voice to people that's going to scare them off. People are very confused about Bitcoin. I get emails out every day just asking very simple, basic questions. And so you take the time to answer the basic questions, make everyone feel comfortable, but don't make this feel like a gang of nerds that are just, everything is so hard to understand. I mean, we need better marketing, and that's horrible marketing, by the way. That's horrible marketing when you're scaring people away, giving them purity tests. So if people were, again, now imagine if Mike Cernovich, if he spoke to me, he'd have an open arms reception. He'd be talking about Bitcoin so much more, and him talking about Bitcoin, and I give him credit for talking about it at all now after his experience. But if he was talking about it every day, it would help Bitcoin so much. So hey, if he's watching this, keep on talking about it, man. All right, finally, I forgot to mention, I think Amanda Johnson mentioned this during the awesome Dash video that we had that is just doing really well, really popular video. She mentioned there's an open house in Arizona in March 30th. And I will link to the open house link so you can, if you're in the area, you're interested in Dash, you can meet Amanda Johnson and Duffield and some other people. Let's see if we have any questions here. Peter Schiff has been nothing but wrong since 2009, someone says. Okay. Any other questions here? Hello, Mr. Bond. All right, no more questions. Hey, why do people think the Bitcoin ETF would be a positive development? All right, Paul, that's a good question. Well, because it's going to bring a lot of mainstream people into Bitcoin that are scared of Bitcoin currently. I was just talking about how some people feel completely uncomfortable even going to Coinbase and buying their own Bitcoin because they just don't want to hold it. They think they're going to lose it. So there are people out there, mainstream financial people who are like 50 years old, 60 years old, maybe even younger and older too, 70, 80, who are just interested who are used to investing in ETFs and all sorts of traditional financial mechanisms, who will be very comfortable with getting into Bitcoin that way. All right, so that's a chat question for today that I answered very quickly off the top of my head. I'm Adam Meister, the BitcoinMeister, the Disrupt Meister. Please remember to subscribe to this channel. Hey, and if you like this video, please like this video. We got a lot of likes the last few times. Asking specifically for likes seems to work and help pump up the videos, get us more subscribers. This channel is growing. And I will chat with all of you now. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.